YouTube, it's Brian Phelps and Megan. We've got the FJ Cruiser here. We're gonna drive this thing right now down in the crawler ditch slash area that we have desperately been trying to get rain to make awesome. This thing is super ultra detailed, looks really sweet. Go ahead and turn the wheel for us there.
Super
amazing.
Slow. Yep.
Nice. Super cool. Show them the squishy tires, please.
Very squishy tires.
Amazing.
Perfect. Super
so
excited.
We're gonna go ahead and drive right now. Megan's gonna start it out.
We're gonna head over to the ditch that we've been working on.
This is 1/18 scale, by the way.
That is full speed. We got a couple different light options that we kind of go through in the Unbox build radio setup. I'm gonna try and find a spot that's not super tall in our grass.
Okay, you're gonna take that channel there?
Yep, I think so.
Okay, I don't know how this thing's gonna do. It's got a lot better ground clearance than that newer Jimny, that modern Jimny we did.
It's doing really good, actually.
Yeah, it is actually. I'm super surprised.
Just trying to go slow, not flip end over end.
We did get one rain, so we were able to do a little bit of work down here. But right now, it's still super dry. Did you get high centered already?
Nope, I just have to get down here myself.
Me too.
Oh, but maybe I did. Hold on, see if I can get out. There we go.
You can't drive over trees, evidently, guys. See if you can go slower. Turn into the ditch. Let's see if you can go down into the waterway.
Nice. I'm actually really surprised at how well it's handling all of the kind of ruts and dry, cracked.
It looks like we're in the middle of a desert
here. It does.
here.
It feels like we're in the middle of a desert.
So guys, if you're new to the channel, this is just something that we've been adding in. We've been doing ground vehicles for years, but we just haven't done as many of them.
Nope.
And we've been working this whole area.
Oh no!
Oh no! The hand of God. It's time. No damage. If you guys are thinking about this thing for your kids, by the way, we've been noticing that it's a very sturdy platform. It doesn't look like it's gonna break as easy as some of the other ones we've done, which is awesome. It totally looks like we're in a river basin.
It does.
Everything is dried up. Okay.
You ready?
Yeah.
You can't handle it anymore now.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, I gotta get some driving in. Okay, so I'm gonna see if I can turn around and get out of the ditch here. There's a little tree. I wanna see if I can take out the tree, guys. Ready? Oh, yes, took out the tree. So amazing. Okay, we're gonna see if we can go all the way straight in. We're just like, serious, I gotta back up some. So this is truly a crawler, guys. It is not that fast. It definitely does super good on the terrain. And I love that you can go really slow. And also, oh no, over the nose. Hand of God, definitely necessary today. So we're just gonna flip it over. If you were out there doing some four-wheeling in real life, you would have been having a very bad day at that moment. All right, so this is doing so much better than the Jimny 1/18th. Was that a Jimny?
That was the 1/12. This is
yeah. Wow. This is even smaller?
This is smaller. This is comparable to the Atlas 6x6 size-wise.
Ah, I got a dead spot there. I can't get my traction. Let's see if I can get it going this way.
Oh, you're so close.
Oh, so close. I hate cheating too, guys, because like these little models are super fun if you can get them to hop like that. Okay, I guess I'm gonna take a different path. Let's go down the way. Let's show them a little high-speed route here. See if I can take the exit ramp here. Oh no, everybody died again. And there's not quite enough turn to actually flip itself over. I wanna see if I can go up here where it's rough. Oh, that is so sweet. Oh, trees, we're going through the jungle now. Look at this, guys. Amazing. It is so much fun to drive these little things on windy days. I don't know if you guys may have noticed or may not have, but it is incredibly windy today. We may almost have to give them a shot of the windsock here soon, just so they understand. So if you guys are enthusiasts with fixed wing like what we are, oh no, that's a huge Look how it's just been super confused. That sock has been in every direction, 360 degrees, up to and including, straight out. Oh, look at that back tire. That looks so sweet. Trying to push over the tree. It's digging little rut. Oh, that's so cool. Okay, so we're gonna go around that tree, the tree one. So sweet. All right, let's bring it down here. Nice and slow. We're gonna go super slow. See if we can take on this nasty hill. And you gotta really think like if you're driving a real car or a real truck, where is the best route to get from here to there? And there's times like this steep approach here, if I wanted to get out of here, I'd have to be careful. Now, one thing that this car is lacking compared to some of the others that we found is it is quite light. And you see what's happening there? Oh no, digging a hole, guys. If I had a little bit more weight, I think I could get out. Now, I could probably just floor it and cheat, but I feel like that's so like lame because I got a rock crawler here. Why do I want to dig a hole, you know? I feel like that's cheating. So I honestly try not to do it because I don't think it makes them show very well either. So if you guys are getting these things to try to just like ramrod it through a nasty environment, I think you're gonna find yourself super disappointed because really these things are technically challenging, and that's why I like driving them. Now, I don't know if the camera crew agrees. I don't think Megan does. I think she's just a different type of driver than me. I love the challenge of driving through this little jungular area. I think it's so cool. You got all these giant trees that are falling across the path. And guys, this is a ditch, for God's sake. Everybody has a ditch around their house, right? So if you're thinking about buying something like this for yourself, just think of the fun you can have. Think of the little creeks that are around your house, you know, the different little topographical, exciting areas that you have around. Now, sometimes you're gonna have to do a little modification to the trees. Like that tree is probably gonna be an issue for me. I may have to get out the chainsaw. Or, oh no, I hit the rock. That's a $10,000 crash. All right, let's see if we can get over here. I'm loving the fact that we can drive through the weeds like that.
Well, I think the one thing that we've found is this has been a great mediator for our whole family. You know, the kids enjoy watching Brian fly, and our oldest is learning to fly.
But it's just not, it's not for everybody. It's a lot harder.
But all of our kids will drive the cars. They can all do it together. They come
all of
here.
them, even the youngest and even the least capable of them,
can all still do this.
They love driving the cars. It's so much fun, and they'll walk them like walking the dog that we don't have. We used to have dogs. Now we just have cats.
Cats, you don't walk those.
Cats adopt humans, not the other way around. So, without further ado, we could literally do this for hours and we would have fun doing it. But the thing is, we know you guys need to get one for your very own. So definitely check the links in the video description below. These things are so much fun. And I know that when it comes to cars, a lot of it is gonna come back to what type of car it is. But don't forget to measure its capability, because capability is gonna be what keeps it interesting after it looks beautiful in the box. Because there's a million beautiful cars that you can get online, but not all of them are created equal. I can promise you that. Some are gonna be way better than others. This is totally ready to run, less the 4 AAAs that you have to install on the handle. This does come with its own battery, which is super easy to use. It's a LiPo, there's a LiPo charger, everything is included. And basically when you pop the hood, gosh, where is the hood pop though? That's the only thing I can't ever seem to get this one to pop easy. It's right there. There is a power switch right there, and you just grab the lead and pull it out. It works super easy, really detailed stuff, guys. Great cars. There's even lights on the front of the transmitter, which I think is pretty cool. But you can do one-handed driving with this, no problem, because your thumb can definitely reach if you have like an average adult-sized hand. But I would just say, this is definitely gonna be a better driving option than some other choices, because for 1/18th scale, we haven't seen better. Well, I shouldn't say that. The 1/18th Jimny also did really good, but it's got a high clearance. And what's your number one problem when you're driving a crawler? Clearance. It's high centering, you know? So if you guys get a sweet car and you hope to drive off-road, this one is probably still too small for grass. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna pause and just show you some dry grass. Okay, folks, so just to show you some dry grass, obviously you can get in okay, but I just want to show you what happens with 1/18 scale. This has high clearance, and it's not going to high center super easy, but if you get into taller grass, my goodness, I can't believe it's even doing it. But you see what happens is that you'll run into just one random thing, and I can't believe it's doing so good. Dang it. I was trying to get good advice, and then I was totally wrong. I love being wrong when it's to the advantage of the vehicle. But look at this, I've now stuck myself in the grass, and I have to bring the hand of God out to save it. So just to give you an idea, that's some pretty tall grass, and so maybe that was a bad example. Okay, so here's some more grass. This is gonna be more like nasty fescue and definitely some weeds and stuff. This is where they put a little bit of sod to help with erosion when they put in the driveway. And you can see it does really pretty good. I mean, that's like amazing. I did not expect that to do so good. I thought I was gonna be warning you off about driving in the grass. Okay, it's the hand of God, it's gonna be the foot of God this time. So all I can say is, like, it's doing really stinking good. Who would have thought? Here's some tall grass. See, that's what I was expecting to happen. So now, keep in mind, this is not cut because it's been so dry. But if you're driving in your backyard and you've got well-manicured lawn, like over here is more like a well-manicured lawn. So what we wanna do is we wanna showcase how well the cars perform, because what happens is if you buy this for your kids to drive and they take it outside and it doesn't work well, it's just gonna literally be a waste of your money. So we wanna show you how it works. Here's a big chunk of debris and mud, so that's pretty sweet. Gosh, this thing does so good. I had no idea it was gonna do so good. Okay, let's drive into the tall. This is hay grass. So it is a different type of grass. It's like,
That's doing really well, actually.
what the heck? Yeah, how is it doing so good? I guess because it's dry right now.
Yeah.
If it was wet, I don't know if it would work out so well. But see, I just managed to actually bind it up. So what does happen in the taller grass is that stuff gets worked into your wheels, okay? So what we want to do here on Brian Phillips RC is just give you guys, a fighting chance up against the internet, because there's so many different good choices out there. But a lot of times you're going to think, oh yeah, that's going to be a blast. And then you get it and it sucks in your environment. And so then you're disappointed. And not to mention, some of these toys are getting, to be very expensive. Inflation has definitely adversely impacted the RC industry. There's no doubt about it. So if you're looking for something that's great and you're curious if it's as great as you think it might be, where's the first stop you should make? Brian Phillips RC. That's right. And we will help you guys to decide so that you're not let down and your kids are not disappointed and frustrated. Because I'll tell you what, there's nothing more frustrating than having an annoyed kid over a toy, especially if your kids are working hard, mowing lawns, doing part-time work, and they come home with something and it doesn't work. Sorry guys, the camera evidently thought it was too hot. So one of the many woes of YouTube. What I was saying when we were outside, we had to come in and let it cool off, is that if you get a car like this and your kid is disappointed, it will make you feel bad as a gift giver. It's gonna make you feel bad as a parent watching them work their tail off to pay for some expensive toy like this. But so far so good. This thing is done really good. So we've done a handful of other cars over the history of this channel. And then of course I did cars when I was a kid. And I remember back when I was doing my first cars, an RC10, and the thing was just loaded. I mean, it had all the features. It was so sweet. My brother had an RC10T. So he had the truck, I had the car. And they were super, super, super fun. But boy, I tell you what, we really put a lot of time and money into those things, and we worked our butts off so we could pay for a lot of it. Did have help from our parents on that. But in this case, just looking at how sweet these cars are anymore, I don't want you to get something that doesn't meet your basic needs. And so that's what we're trying to do here on Brian Phillips RC, is give you guys the no BS approach to deciding, hey, is that good enough? Do I need to go up to a 1/6 scale? Do I want to get a bigger one? Do I want to get a smaller one? What's going to be right for us? Am I going to be driving this inside all the time? If you're driving this thing inside, this thing is fine. It's going to do great. In fact, it'll do really great. But the thing is, if you're wanting to drive things outside, you have to remember that scale helps a ton. So when you're looking at how much these things cost, just keep in mind the bigger ones are going to cover more ground and they're going to do it more excitingly. But the small ones are so cool. And if you're like me, this thing is beautiful enough to put up as a display. So it's gonna be like one of those things where, do I wanna let the kids drive this or not? Is it gonna get broken? The question would be, is it gonna get broken on the mirror? Because that's like always where they break. And so far, I think this thing is gonna hold up better than some of the other ones we have reviewed. And the reason why is because it has good clearance and the details are all kind of within this certain shape of the vehicle. So when you flip, it's not likely to catch. So yes, these are cold pads because we're cooling our camera. So this has definitely got 2 thumbs up from us. It's super fun. We're not even gonna run the whole battery out because fortunately we didn't, because we would have known the camera stopped. But in this case, evidently, Mother Nature wins, even though it's windy and we can drive cars, we can't even film because it's too hot. So anyway, stay tuned, guys. We have so much more coming. Brian Phillips here, Megan Phillips there. Megan is the camera crew, and she's my wonderful wife of many, many, many moons. And so she will be doing the unbox next. So stay tuned for that. Don't forget to smash the like button. That really does help a lot. With the growth of our channel, the way that YouTube recommends our videos, and definitely for your own video supply. And as you like those videos, then we're more likely to show up in your recommendations, which is what we want, obviously. But click the bell for notifications, and then you'll know for sure you'll get notified when we have new content that comes out. If you're not into the ground vehicles and you're just here for airplanes or PPG or, leaf blower videos, air check videos and shameless kitten advertisements, things like that, we appreciate you too. But we know you're in the extreme minority. So if you're here for the cars, then Wednesdays are gonna be your special day because we're trying our best to kind of do some consistency on that. And then obviously you guys already know we kind of have a main event on Thursday. Thursday or Friday, we've got our new releases if they come out. And then sometimes we'll sneak a new release into a Monday, Tuesday position, but we like to give you a little something at the beginning of the week. Wednesday to break for hump day, we've got cars. And then of course on Thursday or Friday, we've got the main event for the week. So it's super exciting for us to bring you this so much stuff. And then sometimes on the weekend, we'll have like a weird thing like a bike or maybe a leaf blower or something like that that's a little bit off. So if you haven't figured that out, that's the format we're trying to run here on Brian Phillips RC. It's just an RC channel, right? No, we do so much more than that. We talk about our property, we talk about the family, we talk about what's going on in our lives, the challenges we're facing in trying to make this property what we want it to be, which is just an RC paradise. And we love doing it for you. And we love that you guys keep coming back to support us time and time again. So thank you guys so much. World's best audience on YouTube right here at Brian Phillips RC. Stay tuned.
YouTube, it's Megan Phillips. We're gonna open a box today. If I'm opening the box, that kind of gives you a clue to what it already is if you didn't look at the picture in the thumbnail or read the title. But I'm super excited about this.
Whoa, that is so cool. The FJ Cruiser.
This is a 1/18 scale.
1/18 scale.
We really like the other 1/18 scale that we just did a couple of weeks ago. We've had a lot of fun doing these cars as a family because it's something that all of our kids enjoy and I enjoy doing with them.
Flip it over so we can see the package.
Oh.
That looks so cool.
It's a Toyota.
Toyota, yes.
Cool.
What do we have here? Oh, by the way, if you guys didn't know, the spares are all real on all these, which is pretty sweet. Okay,
Yeah.
sorry.
All right, we'll put it back here so you can
Continuing
see
onward. Now we can look at the actual product.
Comes in the same kind of foam case like we've been used to with these little cars and crawlers recently.
This one doesn't have a handle?
Does not have a handle, just
bummer.
opens straight off the top.
Okay.
Looks like we've got a fairly folded up instruction manual.
Oh, I
we
hate
haven't really
folded
used
instruction
the manuals
Yeah,
pretty much
we haven't
at
really-
all.
We haven't really needed them.
Whoa, that's a big,
What does this say? If it is not used for a long time, unplug, take off battery to prevent battery leakage.
that was
Okie dokie.
some interesting spelling. but
Battery
we'll
leakage,
not worry about
too.
that.
Yes.
Speaking of batteries, let's talk about that really quick. We have a little charger in here
Okay.
and the little wheel tool. So we'll find her.
So it's a regular USB to 2S Hextronics connector with a USB-A charger. Looks like this one's branded. It is a 2S at 1000 milliamp hour. You can use up to a 2 amp input for this.
You're gonna have to provide your own, whatever you're gonna plug
Adapter
it into
thingy.
your wall. Yes. Okay, so it looks like we're gonna need to take the car out
That
next.
warning right there. Oh yeah.
I like the yellow. Oh, Brian's favorite. Squishy tires.
Tires.
Yes. Okay, this says peel off. It's already coming open. So let's look at this here real quick.
Okay, so the battery's inside
Perfect.
the hood right there, so we got to get that out of there. And there is a power switch, it looks like.
Yep. Get that out of there.
Yeah, that's the wrong end. Be careful you grab the right end.
Yeah.
Oh, no, it was the right end. It's just they're both, it's got the balance lead and, okay, so 380 milliamp hour, 2S.
Should we get that charging
Yes.
before we do anything else?
There should be a black charger in the basket. So
Black
we'll go around. We always start charging our batteries at the beginning.
Yes.
So this is the,
This is like a little Asus tablet
Yeah.
charger wall
what's
adapter.
it say for the output on this? This one happens to be 5.2 volts at 1.35 amps.
Okay.
So it's probably, could be a little bit faster, but it'll be fine. I mean, 5.2 amps at 5.2 volts times amps gives you the wattage.
So we're gonna plug this in just here at our
Regular
kitchen island.
outlet.
The little red light is gonna come on.
Oh my goodness, plug it in and I'll watch
Super
the light.
exciting,
I'll
okay.
highlight the light and
So
then we'll show
then-
the plugging.
Okay.
Amazing, we have
Wow.
a flashing green light. Okay, so how hard was that? It's keyed, guys. See, it's keyed.
Only goes one way.
Only goes one way.
And then that light will turn to a solid green when it's done charging.
Ooh, you gotta get it all the way plugged
All
in
the way
though.
snapped in.
Yep.
Yep. Okay.
So we can't use our other chargers. Let's show them why. Grab that other one that we use all the time. No, this one.
Oh, this one.
This one.
This is a 1S charger.
It's got a Molex plug, but that's only 1S.
Yep.
So 1S, of course, would be, now the other thing is, in our case, we have built adapters so that we can actually charge this on
Do you want to show them
our
those?
smart chargers. Yeah, if you want to show you.
Switch real quick.
Yeah, so basically I have built over the years many different types of adapters. In fact, the adapter's not even on there right now. There it is. So here's one of the adapters. So this is a balance lead charger that we used to use. And I have all sorts of these Hextronics, or excuse me, this is like an XT60 connectors. But in order to use a balance charger, you would have to plug in your Molex pack. This would be treated as the discharge. And then the balance lead would go into the balance port of your smart charger if you chose to do so. So like if you've got an S155 charger, you could also charge this battery. And so why don't we just show the people how we would set that up. If we were gonna do that, unplug this, the light goes out. I mean, you can take our word for it, that thing's gonna work fine. So this little adapter, I just bought these, like a pack of these, and soldered them to an XT60 in this case, because that's what I had on my balance output, but you could just put an EC3 or an IC3 if you really like to waste money, because there is no data pin on this type of application. So let's show them on this S155. This S155 is one of the best deals in smart charger history because it's small and cheap. Okay, so you would plug this into one of the Molex connectors. Then this would become the main discharge lead, and then you would just take your balance lead, and the balance lead does have to be inserted, and then it knows the individual cell voltages, but then to actually start the charger, if you can go back just a hair, there you go. Oh, that's gonna be hard to pick up. You have to probably scroll the bar too once I press buttons. You would have to press play and then go up and change this from 4 amp down to, this thing is 380 milliamp hours, so it'd be like 0.4 amps, so 400 milliamp hours. So milliamp means 1,000th of an amp, okay? So 400 milliamp hours is just a little teeny bit over this rating right here, which is 300 milliamp hours. So to charge at 1C, this says 5C, to charge at 1C, you'd be charging at 380. So we're just over 1C. So then we can scroll back down to start and press start. And then it shows it's at 63%. So actually just let that charge, because who cares? These free chargers are great, but they are, after all, you know, dime a dozen. We literally have hundreds of them.
And if you end up with a couple of these for kids or kids and husband or whatever,
you could bring this to the field or have it in the car. And you know, you've got your cigarette adapter that's, you know, for your cell phone charger. You could charge this out in the field. So it'd be really nice.
And being able to charge more than one battery at a time from the same charger is super helpful with kids.
So we're gonna trade back.
And stuff like that. Okay.
So yeah, so we don't need this thing, so we're just gonna actually throw it into our bin. This is a small bin that's made up of
many chargers.
many more bins than that.
But those are easy for kids to use. Our kids pull those out when they're playing with the cars and use them.
Okay, so back to the awesomeness.
Yes, okay, so we got the battery out.
Here, let's show them the actual car, because I wanna see this. I do note that this is nice and shiny, but when the hood is open and the light shines through it, not a huge, oh good, it doesn't. I thought it was, but it's just so bright in here. This is so cool, that snorkel. And then are the mirrors actually mirrors?
Yes, they are.
Hold on, do the doors open?
I don't think they do.
No, I don't think they do either. It's really detailed inside, but I don't think it's actually.
It is really detailed inside, but I don't think the doors or anything open.
Let's look at the back and the underside. Oh, this rack, that hinge looks real. I wonder if that thing does, nope, it's just a hinge point, handle point. Okay, so we've got obviously spring-loaded front suspension. Hold it nice and tight so I can press against you. Okay, so we do have the differential up front. We have the differential in the back. And these are just springs, they're not shocks. These feel like they're springs, but they might be shocks. Brushed motor in there. You can tell it's brushed because there's only 2 wires that go to it. And then we have a digital 9-gram digital servo. Can't tell anything more about it than that. It is an FMS branded servo, which is nice. So if they're willing to put their stamp of approval on it, that's always good. That means it'll generally be good. Looks like a pretty good amount of turning radius. Awesome traction on those tires. That's so sweet. Why do we not have these tires on our airplanes yet? Good crash guard up here too. Looks like it's gonna protect the servo nicely.
Those lights are gonna light up.
I bet they do.
Yeah.
So let's go ahead.
Can you see from the inside, the driver's side, the detail?
On the, oh, you can see the, okay, you gotta hold nice and still because I'm getting a bit of a glare. Let's see if I can hold this at a different angle. Oh, shoot. Yes, yep, you can see the speedometer and everything. That is super cool. Really super hard to get it to focus though, and I'm surprised.
I know, it is always tricky with these little things, so.
It's a really cool looking car. I mean, the Jimneys we've reviewed recently have been cool. Well, there's 3 wipers on this, what the heck?
Oh.
Why are there 3 wipers? That's so weird.
That's crazy. Let's go ahead and pull out the transmitter that comes with it.
Okay.
And see what we're going to need. Assuming we're gonna need a couple of batteries here.
That's everything. Just the wheel. This is just the wheel tool, guys.
Yep.
All these cars come with wheel tools, but you know, you can use any of your regular nut drivers. They give us lots of options there.
So it looks like we're gonna need to open this up and grab a couple of
magazine
batteries.
You have to pop this up and then this pops out. See that?
Okay.
So there's actually a double lid.
Okay, so it looks like AAA batteries.
AAA's how many?
Probably
2.
2?
2 on each of those holes.
Perfect. We'll pause and go grab a couple of those.
Yeah, so we're gonna pause and get battery. All right, so we're at 87% already, and basically Megan got batteries for the transmitter, and we were just curious about the timing on that, so it's going really quick.
So we're gonna put these in.
How do you know how to put them in?
I'm gonna assume that means the plus goes up on that side, and the negative is gonna go down on the other side.
You know how else you can always tell? The spring-loaded mechanism always goes to the negative.
Flat. Yep, flat to the spring. And that.
You're already on.
Yes, I know.
Just close it, it's fine, it's not gonna hurt anything.
There it goes. So that clicks in, and then this little cover is gonna slide over the top.
All right, perfect. Now show the people where the controls are. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So there's your on off.
I wish these things would go up a little bit higher. You see what I'm talking about, guys? So yeah, so there's on off, and that's why I was beeping. So cool.
Cool.
Okay, so there's actually like a climbing setting too, which means we must have the high-low. Oh, whoa. Show the people the front. Look at this. There's lights on the front. It looks like a car. That's pretty sweet.
That's crazy. So it must not be connected since they're flat.
Yeah, probably not bound. So we're gonna close this thing up and get it out of the way. And then we're going to These cases, by the way, are super nice. And it's nice because you can actually stack them and nest them. We have been stacking and nesting them quite a bit. And it's really nice when they've got these covers that slip back over them. It's hard to tell these cars apart when they're actually sitting in there. So these drive times are really long on these cars. So what we're gonna do is, we're at 90% charge. If you ever wanna stop one of the smart charges, you can just press play and then hit stop. Okay, so it stops charging. Then I'm gonna unplug this. It actually dropped back down. It said like in the mid 80s. Sometimes while charging, you'll get a false positive on the reading until it's fully charged. So you can also keep track of how many milliamp hours was forced from the charger into the actual battery. And so if this is a 380 milliamp hour and it was at 50%, then you would have approximately 100 and, what would that be? 150 plus 30, so 180. That doesn't seem right. But yeah, or 190, excuse me, 190 milliamp hours times 2. So you'd have 190 and then of course it would build on that. So you don't totally discharge LiPos. When you use a LiPo, you only use the very top of the voltage range, but that is considered into all the configuration or all the considerations on these batteries. So how about I plug this in real quick since we have already switched hands. Okay, so when you open this, don't break your windshield wipers.
Does it stay open?
Kind of, but I'm just looking inside of here so you can see the multi-controller board here. There's also a power switch, but I don't know for sure how that all works. I'm gonna just go ahead and plug this in. Black is toward my belly. Okay, sweet. I saw a double flash. And then that just kind of slips back there. And you can go either way with it, I think. Okay, sorry, I know I'm blocking. It's very hard not to block. Okay, does that snap? It kind of like doesn't snap. Yeah, it does. It's tight. Okay, so we got solid lights now. That's how you can tell you're connected. You can also tell you're connected because when you turn, whoa. Did you see the way it changed shape? Why is it doing that? I want to see it upside down. Let's see what happens. Oh. Well, it doesn't change its position there. I think it's just the way it's sitting on the tire. You see what I'm talking about? It pulls the whole thing down. That's weird. Okay, so here. I'm sorry, I'm stealing this away from you. You're supposed to be driving it.
All right. You ready?
Yes.
Okay, let's see what we got.
Ooh, turn signal.
Ooh, cool.
Okay, so you must be in low gear.
Yep. So here's a button I just double pushed. Must be...
That didn't do anything.
What do I have for backup lights?
Looks like brake lights. And I'd be super careful about how sharp you turn because it's almost acting like the diff doesn't like that.
You can go really slow.
Go as slow as you can get it to go. Drive over my hand. Oh, I just love how the tires deflect. It's so cool.
I love that the turn signals actually indicate which way you're going.
Okay, now wait.
Yep.
Okay, stop there. Let's figure out lights.
Okay, I have this button here on the side. Is a double beep and a single beep. That's got to be a high and low.
Okay, hit another button. Okay, so we have LED. Yeah. Look at the front of your thing.
Oh, the headlights just came on.
Okay, keep going.
So 1.
Listen to the beeps.
2.
Yeah, the beeps are explaining
3.
what's going on.
4.
There's feedback. Every time you press the button, show the people.
This button here.
Press the button. 1, 2, 3, 4. And you can tell the different light modes. So like right now you've got your 4-ways on, but the back 4-ways don't do anything.
I think the back are is only in reverse.
Okay. So the forward lights are the ones that are being controlled. Oh, that's high beams.
High beams. And then there you have 4-ways.
Okay, go back to low beam.
That's off. So then...
Low beams, then high beams, then turn signals / 4-ways. Now go again. Okay, so these front lights don't work.
No. I don't think
That's a bummer.
So. Yeah, that's kind of a bummer.
Okay, so let me try something real quick. I want to try doing a little bit of driving here. Okay, so There's a factory reset. There's definitely trim. The signals definitely work. You can basically pull the trigger harder, and that's full speed forward, full speed back. Definitely see a lot of movement. It's a little herky jerk when you go between. There is braking, because when I push the stick forward, it brakes. And then when I let go and then reapply, it goes reverse. Okay, so then there's channel 5 climbing. So there's channel 4 train, channel 5 climbing, channel 6. No change. Oh wait. Okay, so then this button, I don't hear or see any difference. And also, if there was a mechanical change happening, you would generally see and you would hear a gearbox engage. So I don't actually see any gearbox there, so it doesn't look like we have any of that. We just have the the four-wheel drive, and it's full time. So you can definitely go really slow. Looks like I got a little wobble on that front wheel. You see what I'm talking about? And I think it's the tire, not the wheel. So it's just the way the wheel is seated on the rim. So that's not a big deal. All right, let's see if we can get it to trim straight. If you guys don't know how to trim your cars, there is an easy way to do it on pretty much all of these radios. Right here we have trim for steering and throttle trim, okay? So I'm gonna go forward a little bit, and I need to trim one way or the other. Okay, I gotta straighten the car so it doesn't go off the edge. Now I'm gonna come backward here. Definitely pulling a little bit to the left. I'm not really seeing any change. Are you?
I'm not.
I'm gonna come down here just for the sake of the test. Maybe I need to trim the other way. I'm just not hearing or seeing any adjustment. Okay, so there's also A and B modes. I'm curious what that does. I'm going to A mode. I don't really see any difference. Oh, okay, hold on. Now I'm gonna go to B mode. Seems like we have the same amount of steering. Sometimes there's like a high rate and a low rate, and I'm not seeing any of that. Okay, so what we're gonna do next is we're gonna keep driving this, but I think what I wanna do is I wanna go outside with this thing and see how it does, because we have really good ground clearance on this thing. And so if we get it out into the rocks and the debris, we can see how it actually does in real performance. But also, I just wanted to apologize because when we go outside, we've been working our front ditch to get us a really cool crawler course, and we just haven't had any rain. We've had one rain event that's happened in like a month. So, I mean, while that's great for filming and stuff, it's been really bad for getting that in good shape. So we've tried our best, and we've taken advantage every time it rains, which has been once. We've been able to keep working on the ditch. So it's not as improved as we would like it to be, but we are working on it. So if you guys wanna help support our channel here on Brian Phillips RC, Megan and I obviously do this together. She films most of the time, but she's been trying to be in front of the camera a little bit more on the ground stuff. Obviously she'll be driving when we take this outside, but just a really cool FMS FJ cruiser, which is a 1/18 scale, absolutely gorgeous. You definitely would like this for your own, I'm sure. A couple things too, when you buy these, buy them from the links in the video description. That's the way we fund our channel. So if you're looking for other ways to support our channel, maybe you're not into this particular vehicle, or maybe not the last airplane, or whatever it is that we've done, whatever you're watching. We also have Patreon, which is like a monthly support mechanism that creators use to help keep some regular income coming. And then there's PayPal, which is usually, designated for just like one-time gifts and things like that. So we really appreciate any of those three ways if you want to help support us financially. But if you don't want to support us financially and you just want to give us a thumbs up, definitely do that. Click the bell for notification so that you know when we're posting new video footage. We're trying to do 3 releases per week, unless we have like a super big release the week before. Sometimes we'll wait until midweek. But we're trying to get out some new content every week on the surface stuff, just so that we can establish a little bit more in front of our channel, because we have done some ground stuff over the course of the 8 years we've been doing our channel, but we haven't done it on a real consistent basis. And it's not because we don't love doing radio controlled airplanes, cars, helicopters. We'll do it all. We'd like to do boats and stuff like that, but we just don't have a pond on the property yet. So we're actually working through the possibility of doing that, but we have one other small project out here, and that is to bury the power lines. And that's gonna be really expensive. So we're trying to get that done for a variety of reasons, but we want to keep you guys in the loop, especially you longtime followers that have been watching our channel since the, when we began, when we were living in town, flying out in the neighborhood and things like that, right when all the rules were changing. And we were fortunate to be able to do that for so many years. And then having such close access to a great flying site that many of you don't know, but it was an AMA approved site, which, so for all you naysayers out there, you don't need to know all the details because we don't have any reason to explain that stuff. But at the end of the day, we do want to let you guys know what's going on in our lives, because some of you guys have been following us for years and you're genuinely concerned about our well-being. And so we do want to share that. We feel like we owe it to you. If you're new to the channel and you don't get the context of some of these things, we understand it may be a little bit out of place. It might seem a little bit off-putting if you don't know us yet. But at the end of the day, what we do here on Brian Phillips RC includes many different types of things, but like aircraft like this, aircraft like that, aircraft like that thing's not even released yet, technically yet. Well, it sort of is, but it's not in stock yet. We're not gonna bait you guys with stuff you can't buy, or at least pre-order. But at the end of the day, what we do here is we try to focus mostly on flying aircraft, aircraft-based, and then of course we cover what we're doing on the property, which is in facilitating, predominantly the fixed wing aircraft, ground vehicles. We would really like to start doing a little bit more watercraft and water-based flight. But again, that's 2 or 3 large capital projects down the road before we can really make that work. So if you guys are curious, that's why we're not doing any of the boats. That's why we're not doing any of the submarines. We're just not doing that stuff yet because we don't have a good way of showcasing it. And where we used to be, we had access to not only 3 ponds in our neighborhood, we had access to another big pond just right across the street at the flying site. So it was super nice and it was just right there and it was wonderful. So there are certain days that I just feel a little bit jealous for certain aspects of that, but we have so much better set up elsewhere here. So we want to thank you guys for being part of our channel, part of our lives on Brian Phillips RC, obviously. Megan and I really appreciate it. Of course, our family of 4 kids, and they appreciate it too. And obviously, if you guys have kids, we do keep that in mind when we're reviewing not only airplanes, helicopters, quads, and of course ground vehicles like this. And we want to try to give you as much positive feedback. We are parents. We know what it's like to have an expensive toy in the hands of a kid. And it's like a little bit stressful sometimes because you're like, man, that thing was expensive. I'm not sure I want to let them touch that one. We do actually try to share that too. So hopefully you find that helpful. But everybody's kids are different. Every adult is different. Every adult child is different. But at the end of the day, we're here to try to serve the RC community and the aviation community because I really love this stuff. My wife helps because she loves me. So anyway, thanks for watching, guys. So much more coming from Brian Phillips RC. This thing looks pretty awesome. I'm curious how it's going to do outside. And as you know, we always try to show the first run, the maiden flight, the weed whacker, the blower, whatever it happens to be right up front as quick as we can so you can watch the unbox if you're into that sort of thing. So we actually haven't seen it perform out in the real world, but we're about to do it and we're kind of excited. So we're going to get to it. Stay tuned. So much more to come from Brian Phillips RC.